father called me and said, we have to meet, Sunny, and we need to talk about this. And so we decided to meet at Ispahani Center Cafe Coffee Day. So we sat there, and I went alone, and she and her parents were there. We spoke about it and how long is it going on. I really love your daughter, uncle, and I wish to marry her and all that. I told him, and he said, yes, I understand that. Let's first eat, he said. So we ate, and then he said,
as usual, he did not know what to order. He was looking at my face. He was actually sitting right opposite to me, and I was sitting near my dad. Is it? Or you were sitting near my dad?
I was sitting near your father.
Yeah, he was sitting near my dad, and I was sitting opposite. My dad had ordered whatever he wanted, and he's looking at the menu card and he's looking at my face. I knew he won't know what to order. He won't understand anything in the menu card.
Hey, come on.
So I ordered
Coffee.
I ordered
coffee,
something for myself, and I ordered for him as well. My dad was like, why are you ordering for him? Let him order whatever he wants. I was like, no, I only know what he wants, so I'll order for him. He was like,
Okay, so my common statement every time we go to a restaurant, and even today if she asks me like, what do you want, I'll just, look at her.
that means he wants me.
Yeah,
You could have told that to my dad. I want your daughter.
That's a standard line, and it's been going on for years. So whenever we go to any restaurant and she asks me, so what do you like to have, and I'll be like, come on, you already know the answer for that question. So that's how it's been over the years, and even then it was not so much, so I try to be a little decent then. So whenever I order something, it'll be the worst thing in the menu. So I better not order, and I leave the option to her. Then we actually couldn't speak much on that day, and we had to go, and so we decided another meeting at Talapakatti, and then another meeting at Sam's Pizza. So
actually, my dad was not, very rude to him. My dad was not trying to cut him off, like at the very beginning. My dad was actually taking it slow. He kind of understood us, and he was talking to us and trying to understand what our plan was, and if he denies, then what we are up to, what we are going to do. And also he wanted to know something about his state of mind, if he's willing to get converted, or what is his opinion about religion. He did not say anything directly to him or force anything upon him, right? Like it all happened in a conversation. My dad was talking to him, trying to observe what kind of person he is. And
I got to know more about her family, more about her father, more about what they do, the business and all that. And there was never any problem as such, but there was always this big question: how would we get this thing done? Because there's always a question
my
about
dad and him, both of them were actually working out on how to get this done. My dad was not trying to break us apart, like he was not trying to chase him away. They were just trying to put the pieces together.
how to bring it out to the family members, the society. Basically in India, that's the main problem, especially if you're a parent.
That made me very comfortable. Like I didn't have to face any drama at home, like how you see in the soap serials and all that, or what you see in the movies. I didn't have to cry so much. Did I cry so much later? I don't think so. Not because of my family. So I didn't have to cry so much or really
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, there was no drama in my house, so everything was just a conversation, and everything was talked about. So when we actually went to Sam's Pizza, the waiter there was taking order in Hindi. So that time he spoke to him in Hindi, and my dad already knows that he's from a Malayalam background and his parents are living in Telugu. So he knew Malayalam and Telugu. He could also speak Tamil to an extent, not like how he speaks Tamil now. Now I would say he's quite fluent with Tamil, but at that time he was not very fluent. His Tamil used to be a little funny, like a foreigner's Tamil. So my dad was really impressed with his, multilingual skills.
And one of those days, her father actually took my CDC number. They call it like a continuous discharge certificate, a Siemens ID, the number. So he did a background verification, and I think he told me later on after marriage, I think, that he did a verification, and it was brought to his notice that seamen usually have a tag that we drink a lot and we roam around a lot in foreign countries and all that. So at the same time, he spoke to it about his friends, I believe, and they told him the same thing. Like nowadays, guys from IT or other industries as well, other jobs, other business as well, they travel a lot. Even they have a lot of alcohol. The bars have opened up.
I
in the city
believe they
now.
have more access to, you
Yeah.
know, all these things than seamen, because in my experience, we don't get to go out that often, or even if we go out on shore leave, it's like we go out at 11 o'clock in the morning and we should be back by 5 or 6 in the evening. So within this time, you cannot do much.
Actually, when you're in higher ranks, you don't get to go shore leave at all.
Oh,
and
no.
when you're in lower ranks, it's only 6 hours of gap. Like one shift, the time between the shifts is only 6 hours. So you can never drink or get drunk. You can never go out very far from the ship or any, like if there's any wonder of the world or something like Great Wall of China. It's pretty close. It takes time to travel, at least like 4 hours to reach that from any port near the Great Wall. So when you get to the destination, I've never been there because I need to get back within 6 hours.
But so many times you've been to China, right?
Yeah, so many times I've been pretty close to that Bohai Sea and that areas, but I never got a chance to go out and visit that. Some guys are lucky they manage to exchange the shifts and all, because you need rest also. At the same time, you need to be alert during your watch because a lot of money
Because
involved.
there's no, alternate, or there's no substitute for ranks like chief officer or the captain, right? You got to do your work no matter what.
So I think seamen are really, you can call it a prison, but with basic minimum facilities
yeah,
you get.
it's really not like what people think.
Yeah, internet is out of the question. Netflix, forget it.
Oh,
Facebook,
no.
Instagram, nothing. So a seaman's life is more restricted than the normal life of
Normal
a
person's life.
guy over here. They get exposed to everything. They have internet, they have Facebook, they have Instagram.
For others, it's like if you have money, then everything is accessible to you. But for seamen, it's really not like that. So all this was explained to my dad by his friend. I believe his friend was a senior most person in customs department, I think so, and he had contacts with many retired captains as well. So he collected all this information about his profession and he was fine with it. Whereas my family, the other members in my family, were not fine with getting married to a merchant navy guy. They were totally against it, especially the ladies, because they didn't know all this, right? And they are not going to believe me. But my dad was, I think he was quite fine with this and all that. And he was very impressed with his performance. He took out his records like from his school time records, college time records, his career records. He took out everything and he really did a vigorous background check about him, and he was really impressed with the guy I chose.
And actually, I think every father should do that, especially when you have a daughter. To
Yeah,
do
it is
a
not
proper-
wrong to do a background verification. If you take arranged marriages, how much we do, how many verifications and how many checks do we do? And even at the last minute, if we are not satisfied with something, we just call off the marriage, right? So there's nothing wrong in doing a background check, or there's nothing wrong in even having a breakup if if the person is not suitable for you.
Yeah, if what if I lied to her that actually I'm
Yeah.
an officer, and then
Like in our society, people feel if you break up, if you have a breakup in your relationship, then you are characterless, they call you names, and all this is imposed on a girl, which makes the girl stay put in the relationship knowing that the guy is not right for her, which is very bad.
It's
This should not
dangerous,
happen.
yeah.
It is very dangerous for the girl, for her future. Imagine she's getting married to the same guy and having kids. The guy can leave her and run away after having kids. So all this is really dangerous. I'm so glad I'm brought up like this. So even during my school days, I used to read a lot of novels, and all this has given me this proper maturity at the proper age. So I always believe myself when I make decisions. I believe that I make the right decisions for life. And my dad also believed that.
So went back to her place one day. I told them I'm coming, and she informed her family, and I went there. And this time her grandparents also were there. I think they came back from Tirunelveli or something.
Yeah, my grandparents had gone somewhere and they had come back during that time.
Yeah,
so he
so-
came to my house this time
Yeah.
to meet everyone in the family.
In Pallavaram, and I met them, and they had a lot of questions for me. How are you going to manage things? I told them it's going to settle, and whether I love your daughter and I promise that I'll marry her and I'll make sure that she never gets converted and she will never get converted, but even from my side there will not be any pressure anytime that for her to convert or anything like that way. So I convinced her parents that she'll never get converted or anything like that, and she'll never have any kind of that pressure, and her following Islam will not be affected at all. And this part I made it very clear to them. And then that day one small incident happened. I sat with a grandfather, and grandfather asked me on a lighter note, he asked me, so what do you do? I said I work in the merchant navy. Indian navy? No, I said merchant navy. So this is where we guys get. So it's government job? I said no, it's not government, it's private. And he was like, oh, private, oh, okay. And I was like, so maybe they like government jobs, and maybe government jobs hold a higher value. So I said it's almost like government, but then it's private. And then he was like, so is it private or government? I said it's private. It's a Hong Kong based company. Oh, Hong Kong, that means you're foreign company. Okay, fine. Then I asked him, what do he do? He said he's a businessman. So I wanted to ask him, is it government business or I didn't want to be inside.
My grandpa got his engineering degree almost 60 years back.
60 years back, that's a big thing.
Yeah. So my entire family was well educated.
Okay, so he speaks very good English also.
Yeah, they were not the kind of people to react immediately. They just try to, get it out of his mouth.
Then after that, what I actually did was, I'm pretty comfortable sitting on the floor. Like, even if you have a sofa at home, I like to stretch my legs and sit on the floor. It's very homely and you feel comfortable. So that particular day, I don't know what happened. I saw her brother sitting on the floor and I was talking to him regarding some cricket or something. And even I stretched my legs and sat on the floor next to him. Didn't bother that I was the son-in-law or something like that, or future son-in-law or whatever. And then I left home, and then I got a call from her saying her parents had a talk and they are okay with me. And actually her grandparents kind of liked me.
They all liked him. There were no issues with him at all. From the very first meet till the end, they never, told me even once that this boy will not be suitable for you. They knew that he was my perfect match.
That's such a relief to know. And that day she told me that, you remember you sat on the floor, so that actually they liked it. You're not like I don't know how you guys are able to imagine the scenario, but I was not there to demand a girl. I was there to be a part of the family or something like that. I'm not going to snatch her away from them or anything like that. I was going to keep her with them, and she is with them all the time. I never thought that she'd be so close to them, but then she's like just a stone throw away. And yeah, so that day they were impressed with me sitting on the floor. So if you have boyfriends and if you want to introduce them to your family, then make sure they are they have to really humble themselves up. I think that was a turning point.
Yeah,
in their
you
opinion.
just have to be yourself and not really try to create an image just for the sake of creating. Just be yourself, just be normal. I think people will like our normal self more than the made up self,
Once you be yourself, you'll be more truthful.
Yeah.
You can actually speak out.